This is a comparison test we've wanted to do for a long time. The Surftech Bark Dominator Pro Elite versus the new Morrelli and Melvin. This is their production version of their 14-footer. It's a full PV sandwich construction. First I want to show you some of the details of the hulls themselves. Check out the difference in the noses. The Morrelli and Melvin is designed to be a wave-piercing bow, a design that they took from their catamarans, whereas the Bark is more of a displacement bow. We found in our paddling that the Morrelli and Melvin's a little quicker with the bow slightly out of the water in the flat water conditions we have this morning, whereas the Bark is quicker with better glide and smoother with a little bit of the bow in the water, about 1/3 of the bow. Now we're just going to show you the length of the boards and how they compare side by side. The Bark's quite a bit thicker in the front. They both have nicely cut in standing areas. Both these boards have an integrated carry handle. One thing I've always loved about Joe Bark's designs is that he also has a carry strap, which allows it to be very comfortable to carry the board for an extended distance. Now looking at the bottom of the boards, you can see that the bows are really different. They both work really, really well though. Now looking from the tails of the board, they're both moderately wide square tails. You can see that the widest point on the M&M board is a little farther back than on the Bark. Morning, I'm Gary from Paddleboard Specialists.
And I'm Chris from Paddleboard Specialists.
And this morning we're really excited to paddle the new Morrelli and Melvin by Boardworks 14-foot race board versus our go-to board, the Surftech Bark Dominator. Great morning to be out here.
Initially, I think one of the things you really notice are definitely the soft rails, and you do have a little bit of initial instability when you're on the Morrelli and Melvin. But once you put the hammer down and you start cranking, and you can see how that piercing hull works, the water really seems to hug the bow and really aids in that secondary stability. It's a great board, very smooth.
So as a comparison, I've been paddling the Dominator for about a year, and the Dominator clearly has more initial stability. I think it also has more secondary stability, at least in these very flat conditions, which is so far the only test we've had for the M&M. The Bark has a very buttery, smooth feel to it. It's quite quiet through the water. I don't feel that due to its deeper displacement bow, the underneath shape in the front, it's not as responsive to turning as the M&M. The other element that goes with that is the fin position on the Bark is much further back, which is more oriented towards tracking, whereas the M&M's farther forward, which is a compromise between tracking and maneuvering. The other thing that we found is on the M&M, because it's a much flatter bottom in the front section behind the nose, is that one step back and it'll turn around a lot more quickly. Now that said, it's a much more specific use board. Less stability, but very lively on the water, very quick, very responsive, really nice.